Hey, Linda, can you stop sharing? Because I can't record when you're in charge. There you go. All yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is the December 15th, 2021 regular meeting of the Milpitas Energy and Environmental Sustainability Commission. Welcome. And if you could join me, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Can we have the roll call of attendees?
Yes. Let's see. Commissioner Bajasha is not here. Vice Chair Kong.
I'm here.
Commissioner Lingle is going to be late, and he'll be joining us hopefully in about five or 10 minutes or so. Commissioner Martinez is not here. Commissioner Salian.
I'm here.
Chair Sexton.
Here.
Commissioner Shreve is not here. He had a work conflict. An alternate Commissioner Hogg.
Present.
Great. And Councilmember Chua.
Great. I believe we have a quorum, so thank you for attending. And at this time, I'd like to seat alternate Commissioner Hogg as a voting member. Let's go on to the approval of tonight's agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve the December 15th, 2021 agenda?
I will make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Vice Chair Kong. I hear the motion. Do I have a second?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner Salian.
Great. Let me take the vote on the minutes. Vice Chair Kong.
Aye.
Commissioner Salian.
Aye.
Chair Sexton.
Aye.
And Commissioner Hogg.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion passes. Let's move on to the approval of the meeting minutes for our last meeting. That was November 17th. Do I hear a motion for the approval of the November 17th meeting minutes? Anyone care to make the motion?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner Salian. Do I hear a second for the motion to accept the meeting minutes from our last meeting?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Kong.
Great. And let me go through the vote quickly. Vice Chair Kong.
Aye.
Commissioner Salian.
Aye.
Chair Sexton.
Aye.
And Commissioner Hogg.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Motion passes. Let us see if anyone would like to speak during the public forum.
Chair, I do not see any attendees.
Okay, thank you, Linda. If anyone does join and wants to speak, please just let me know. All right, let's move on to announcements. Councilmember Chua, you have some announcements for us?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I just have a couple. The last night's council meeting, we approved the Parks Master Plan. Actually, the Parks Master Plan is like a guideline. It's a shell. It guides the city. It's based on feedback from the residents. They have several meetings with the residents and gotten their feedback on how we should develop our parks. And we approved that last night. We also have a few members of the pickleball players in Milpitas asking for pickleball courts. So we're looking into that. And the one interesting thing last night is you remember the ARPA fund, the American Rescue Plan Act? We allocated $300,000 for workforce development programs And they presented that last night, and it got approved for the first half, 150,000. And one of the things that is relevant to this commission is 20,000 for Rising Sun Center for Opportunity. And it's related to green energy. It's a community-based organization to implement a green building certification training and climate careers internship. So that's exciting. So we're looking forward to that one. And Elaine and Tony have more information from last night if they care to share it later on. And I also, this is our last meeting for the year. I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to all. See you tomorrow, I hope. I'm going to visit the clean energy booth.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that report, Councilmember Chua. And yes, I hope to see you tomorrow evening at the Milpitas Magic on Main Street, Holiday Magic. So that should be fun. Also, thank you very much for the information regarding the grant for Rising Sun. I'm familiar with that nonprofit organization, and they're excellent, and they provide really good training for people to understand what it is to have green buildings and how to make buildings more energy efficient. So I think that's a really good project.
I think that the economic development team got together with our Elaine and Tony on that one, I think. I suspect that's why they were able to partner with that organization. Thank you, Elaine, and thank you, Tony. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'll see you next year.
Have a
Merry
great holiday.
Christmas.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Chua. Have a good evening tonight on Main Street. Okay, great. Do we have any other announcements to cover at this time?
Linda, I see Commissioner
it's,
Lingle.
promoting him.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, he should be promoted now.
Okay, yes.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Commissioner Lingle. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
No worries. We were able to have a quorum, and so we went ahead and got started. Okay. If there are no other announcements at this time, I'd like to move on to our business items. The first business item is the potential of the green gardening program. So this is sounds like a really interesting one. Elaine, will you be covering this item?
Just briefly, so this was an item that you all added to your work plan for this year. There was interest in some sort of green gardening program that covered electric tools, less toxic resources, etc. So what I provided in the packet for you was just a summary of some of the programs that we already have that relate to sustainable gardening and water efficient gardening. So as you all know, we sponsor and work with the Bay Area Water Supply and Conservation Agency. Every year we host 4 classes in the spring and 4 classes in the fall, all related to water efficient and sustainable landscaping practices for residents. They are right now, for the past year and a half, have been online. They're usually in person and have an instructor that is a professional landscape designer or expert in the area. We cover things from native gardening, designing for native gardening, to designing for edible gardens and water efficient gardens, to rainwater capture. And I think most recently last week, there was a class on how to best maintain trees during drought. So that's one example of some resources we already provide to our community related to green gardening practices. And then I also shared links to some other programs that we are a partner in, things like a Santa Clara County Green Gardener program, where gardening professionals go through an 8-week course that really goes deep into different green gardening practices. And at the end of that, completing that course, they get a Green Gardener certificate. And through the Watershed Watch program, we also promote that residents hire green gardeners and folks who have green gardening certificates. And then there's also different resources on less toxic gardening, and then a new webpage, an effort called South Bay Green Gardens, which has a collection of different information about events, classes, resources, model or sample water efficient landscaping and all kinds of things. So just wanted to share some of what's currently available, and then I think it's open to the commission to discuss what program or efforts it would like to take on, or for the city to consider taking on.
All right, thank you for that summary, Elaine. I would like to add that the city also provides, in addition to the 8 classes on water, yes, 2 to 3 classes per year on composting, as well as, of course, access to many other composting classes. And I believe before COVID, the library would sponsor several gardening classes put on through the Master Gardeners program. Also, that would happen at the library. And of course, those classes went online, and all Milpitas residents have access to the virtual classes that have been going on for both the composting education program and the Master Gardeners program. So there's actually many established avenues of learning how to garden already. And thank you for the websites, the URLs. I took a look at them, and they have really good information and very extensive. I mean, I couldn't read all of the information that's at each website, but certainly it's good to know that it's there. And when I have time, I should peruse all of that information, because those websites not only have very relevant information about green gardening, but also they have links to other resources as well. So I'd like to open up the discussion now to other commissioners on this topic of, given we have all of these resources available to us, how I think the idea was that there was how to get Milpitas residents a little bit more involved or using these resources that are available to us. So Commissioner Hogg, you've got your hand up. Would you like to speak?
Hi, I'm looking at 9B. What is a smart energy strip?
Oh, okay, that's our next topic, and we will be addressing that shortly, but right now we're at 9A,
Okay,
the
got
Green
it.
Gardening
Sorry.
Program. So hang on, we'll get there.
Okay.
Vice Chair Kong, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, can I ask staff if these new links, this resources here for the watershed, as well as South Bay Green Gardens, do we have this link on the city website? Because I know that, we do have this sustainability page on the city website, and it does include a lot of, good resources. But currently, I don't see anything specific for green gardening. Is there plans to include these links, these resources in that page?
Yes, we can. I think currently it is linked, like the watershed watch pages are linked off of the stormwater pollution prevention icon that's on the sustainability page. So we can look at calling out green gardening so that it's more clear and looking for a way to make it more visible.
I think that would be good to have, because I think having an icon just for green gardening will help people find these resources a lot easier. Because I think I've seen other cities, they do have a special section just for green gardening. So that will be the recommendation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vice Chair Kong. That's a good suggestion because even though the information might be there, if it's not at a sort of a noticeable high level for someone coming, reading through the sustainability webpage, then it may not be clear how to dig down deep enough to find it. So yes. Bring it up to a more noticeable level. Good suggestion. Any other comments? Commissioner Lingle?
Yeah, let's see. So I took it a little further, and thank you for these links. Really, really nice. Yeah, I knew about, I think, greengardens.org, the South Bay Green Gardens. I saw that off of our website, but these other, the My Watershed Watch, I've not seen. And so, but following, one of those links, or, just widening the search, there is one of the links talks about becoming a professional green gardener, certified green gardener. And so I figured, okay, I'll do a search on certified green gardener. And I found this link. It's basically greengardener.org, hire a green gardener. And it's a list. It has a neat list. I don't know if Elaine, you can hit this website, but in the chat. But in there, there's a list of different green gardeners on a per region basis, like Monterey and Salinas. It'd be great to if there are green gardeners, professional gardeners here in Milpitas, that are fully certified and all this, if it's possible to, get them on this list, reach out to that greengardener.org. Let's advertise and then cross link from our sustainability site over to this website.
Thank you for that suggestion, Council, sorry, I've got it wrong, Commissioner Lingle. Yes, I did see that link in the Green Gardener program page, the first URL on our list. From there, I did pull up that list of certified green gardeners, and I noticed the list had, I believe, 2 of those that are certified are located in Milpitas.
Oh, really? Oh, I
Yes.
didn't.
Yeah.
So, and
Actually, Linda, can you give me screen share ability or Ron? I can't share my screen right now, but I did want to show the commission something.
yes, and
Yes, you should
actually,
be able to share your screen. Eileen.
Perfect, thank you.
and Commissioner Lingle, all of the gardeners that are certified for the Green Gardener program are on that list because it's a county program and the county maintains that website.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah,
I think I'm
so-
looking at the wrong list, but cool.
Yeah, commissioners, what I'm showing you right now, it's the link off of the stormwater or pollution prevention page that links to a lot of the watershed watch pages. And so you'll see here, we actually do have a hire a green gardener
Oh,
link
great.
that goes to the countywide program that has information on whether or not your gardener is a green gardener and what the benefits are. And there is a link here on finding a green gardener. And you can see they do have a list of everyone who is certified through the Santa Clara County program.
looking at the wrong list. Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think one of the improvements is probably, making it more clear the resources on our websites that's available for green gardening.
Elaine, do you mind flashing that website again with the list? I'm just curious as to where can we find the city under which these gardeners are based in, because I heard Chair Saxon mentioning that there are 2 in Milpitas, but the cities are not included in this list. And it might be difficult for residents to really know who are, really servicing Milpitas.
Right.
That's a good question. I did see a list that, or maybe I clicked on each of the names and oh yes, there's a map. I looked at the map and
Chair Sexton, were you looking at were you working off the link that Commissioner Lingle shared? Because that was I believe that is a link to a Monterey County program.
Yeah.
Versus the link that I was using and that we
it
have off
was
our website is a
I took
Santa
a look
Clara
at this
County program.
yesterday using the link that you provided in the agenda.
Oh, okay.
So I can't remember exactly how I determined which ones were in Milpitas, whether I looked at each individual gardener listed or no, it wouldn't have been that because not all the gardeners have websites.
Right. I can follow up with the countywide program that maintains the website and see if we can add like service area, because I think gardeners work in pretty wide areas. So we can see if we can include something on service area that can help, folks key in on their city.
Yes, I think
and folks who work in their city
would be helpful also if that table could be sorted. And then that way you could sort it by service area rather than right now the default is sorted by first name of the gardener. And sometimes, I mean, I know that most gardeners just go by their first name, but sometimes it's helpful to be able to sort that list in other, using other fields.
I have a question here.
Yes, Commissioner Salian.
Okay, when we deal with these gardeners, these clean gardeners, so what kind of expectation we should be getting? Is there a kind of a price range that this is how much it's going to cost and this is what it is, or it is whatever the gardener says?
I don't believe that it provides any pricing information. It's you negotiate that with the gardener that you're talking to. I think this program is an encouragement for residents to suggest to the gardeners that they are using for those gardeners to attend the certification classes that the county provides. And so you don't have to, get rid of the gardener that you currently have, but you can encourage them to get their certification so that they will be able to maintain your garden in a very sustainable manner.
No, but how many of these gardeners are educated people, I mean, most of them, they don't even speak English. And like the one
I
which
believe
I
that they
have,
do give some classes in Spanish.
Spanish. No, what I'm trying to say is that the one which I have is for last 20 years. The poor guy comes, he does his job and he goes. I mean, if I tell him go to the school and learn about this, he'll just look at me. He'll say, amigo, what are you talking about? So that is why, I mean, if in case I want to change this guy to this new gardeners, new breed of gardeners, then I want to know is what is the price difference we're going to find is like from this guy, there got to be a benchmark, where we say, okay, these gardeners are below this much, the new breed of gardeners will be you should be expecting so much to pay for them.
I'm not aware of
No,
that
okay.
kind of
And-
information that's available.
Now, these people are going to just maintain, they just going to do the landscaping, or they going to maintain the landscaping also?
I think they do both,
They're going to do it both.
but it depends. I mean, it depends on the service provider, okay? Maybe they're only interested in doing the maintenance, and therefore that's what they offer. And then there'll be other service providers that want to do landscape design and landscape installation as well as maintenance.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just thinking that, if in case he is just maintaining what it is done, so he doesn't need to be a green, clean, new breed of this thing, gardeners.
Yes, well, Commissioner
and then-
Salient, the garden maintenance person, they can actually utilize the training in terms of how and what type of fertilizer to use, so that it's a more sustainable, better for our water, our water supply, as well as how to prune and trim shrubbery. I mean, the training covers a lot of information that a gardener that only does maintenance,
Mhm.
they would benefit from it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, any other questions but you bring up a very good point, Commissioner Salient. Any other questions or comments?
Commissioner Sexton, if there's no comments from the commission, we do have one public comment.
Okay, thank you very much for that notification, Linda. So at this time, I would like to recognize the person that has requested to make a public comment. And I think we have the limit of, I think, is it 2 or 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Okay.
Mr. Mehta, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello? We can
Yes.
hardly hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair, for the Environmental and Environment Sustainability and Energy Commission. I want to thank Chair, Vice Chair, respective Commissioner with regards to the opportunity to speak for the program. I wanted to mention about with the potential green gardening program, there is also an organization which is called Big Green, which basically provides a grant as well as the education resources for the real food to grow, and as well as when we talk about the real food, that includes the democratized and the decentralized philanthropy and empowerment approach towards growing the food, as well as gardening, and as well as the agriculture with the funding resource in the community. What becomes more important for such organization and the government grants to be provided for the program to run is that they are not just allowing an opportunity for the city to develop a plants, but basically they allow you to develop a greenhouse where you are preserving the energy as well as maintaining a house for the vegetables to grow, and as well as you can also develop a specific species of a plant which allows the different other species to be developed within the city. Also, the green gardening is also a part of a program of a sustainability development. In such that the case is that when any green vegetable programs or any funding that is being allotted, those programs are also being the educational program for the schools as well. So these programs are being promoted as a part of a the greenhouse, as well as also being celebrated yearly as part of a United Nations a Green Day program to promote the kids, as well as to promote within the school, to promote within a community, to educate about that, what it takes to develop a plant within home, city, and so would be providing the enrichment by the different means. It also gives the opportunity for the city to understand that how the cultivation of the plants also allowing to preserve the plants and certain species as well. Not all the species are available and being grown with the green gardening. Sometimes it is being referred that if you refer to the countries like Asia, some of the species are being developed under the land. So that's how the greenhouse program are being helpful in so many countries as well. So thank you very much for promoting the program.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. I appreciate your comments regarding the Big Green organization, and sounds like a very worthwhile organization. Any other comments?
No, there are no other public comments.
Okay, thank you very much. Then at this time,
Can I make a comment?
oh, yes, Vice Chair.
Yeah, I mean, I want to thank Mr. Mehta for his input. And it comes to, I mean, it's kind of crossed my mind that, all these resources, if we can also consider handing out, some sort of resources in the space of green gardening during the compost giveaway event, I think that can be another avenue to promote and connect with our community as far as all these wonderful things and resources that can be available.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Good idea. All righty. Do we have any other discussion on this this item? Okay, well, seeing as if there's no additional conversation, Elaine, I'd like to thank you for providing the links and to show us that we do have a lot of information available, and getting it out to the public is what we're interested in doing, so that we can encourage our Milpitas residents to grow their not only trees, flowers, and shrubs to enjoy, but also vegetables and fruit. That is very important to us. And I do know that there are some active gardening clubs within Milpitas. And so I encourage anyone who is interested in doing gardening, even if it's only patio or container gardening. You don't have to have a large space to grow vegetables or fruit or flowers. But it's definitely a very enjoyable pastime, as well as it informs us and we learn how to participate in nature, which is very important. We don't want to lose that connection to nature. I'd like to then now move on to our second business item, that is the potential commission event. So I want to thank, even though Council Member Chua has had to leave this meeting, I do want to thank her for coming up with this idea for smart power strips and making them available, distributing them. So Elaine, would you like to give any background, cover the background?
Sure, I can do that briefly. As Chair Sexton mentioned, Councilmember Chua also serves on the board of directors for Silicon Valley Clean Energy. As we mentioned at the last meeting, SVCE is a gold sponsor of Holiday Magic on Main Street. Part of that request that Councilmember Chua submitted for the sponsorship, she also asked for funding to do some sort of distribution of a tool that could help residents save electricity and better understand their electricity use. So I think it was landed on kind of smart energy strips. I'll let Patty explain those more as a tool to kind of help launch conversations with residents about understanding their energy use in their homes, and then also wanting to couple that with a survey so that we could better understand kind of barriers and perceived benefits for key sustainability actions, so that we can better help, it can help us target our messaging and outreach efforts going forward. So there's an opportunity. We do have $1,000 grant from SVCE to fund the smart energy strips. And then for the commission, I think that the conversation is, how does the commission want to support this effort? Is there interest in the commission, from the commission, in staffing events, whether it's an Earth Day event or tabling at the farmers market? I think Linda and Mevan on our solid waste team and some of our staff are going once a quarter. That's a good opportunity to talk to residents. I think each time they're there, they speak to like 50 or 60 people. Or I know there's upcoming other events that are going to be organized by our recreation department. And so we can also request kind of tabling opportunities for commission and staff at those events. So just wanted to present this opportunity to the commission, and really excited to see if there is interest in having you guys out talking to the community and helping to spread the word and encourage climate action and behavior change amongst your neighbors.
Thank you very much, Elaine. So I want to say that I definitely, I'll raise my hand to volunteer to be at events in order to help distribute these smart energy strips. And let me go ahead and explain. And so if you do currently use a smart energy strip at home, go ahead and briefly raise your hand, just so that I have some idea of who has experience with this. But the purpose of a smart energy strip is it's useful only in certain situations, right? And the situation would be the very best example of a good use of a smart energy strip would be if you have an entertainment system, so a TV that has, say, maybe a sound bar, maybe a DVD player attached to it, a gaming console. And sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes these items that are used in conjunction with your TV may be accidentally either left on when the TV is turned off, or even if you turn off some of these peripheral devices, you could still be using electricity, because some of these devices have what's called a vampire or phantom load. So even when you turn it off, it's still pulling some electricity from your wall outlet. So if you have a situation like that, a smart energy strip can help by, once you configure the smart energy strip and plug in those devices that only need to be on when the TV is turned on, then you can use the remote control of your TV. When you turn the TV off, the smart energy strip will sense that the TV is turned off, and it will then cut the power to all of the items that you've plugged into it. And so this is a great way of saving electricity. And the key thing in sort of, it's a very useful item for to have start a conversation with other residents in talking about lots of ideas about how to be more energy efficient at home. So, you know, not only does this help in reducing the energy bills, but it also allows that person to start thinking about, well, gee, you know, if it helps, if something like this can help in this way, then maybe there are other things that I can do or utilize in my home that will help to reduce the energy bills. I've actually demonstrated the use of this kind of device and many other energy saving devices in my previous job with Actera, which is a nonprofit. I worked with them to deliver several energy savings programs in various cities. And so would be willing to train all of you commissioners who would like to join me in going out to community events and interacting with our fellow residents and encouraging them to be more energy efficient. You know, I'm very happy to do that because it's definitely a fun way to get involved and to sort of spread the word of what the commission does and how we help the city become a more sustainable place to live. So if you have any questions at this point, I'll be happy to take them.
No questions, but I'd be happy to volunteer as well.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Lingle.
Yeah, I'm also going to be happy to volunteer at the Earth Day. I'm not sure about farmers market, but because of the frequency, right? It's like once every quarter. My question is, I remember Councilmember Chua mentioned that all of us have $1,000 that we can put towards events. Is this an event where we can opt to direct our allocation towards? Because I know we are starting off with the $1,000 from SVCE. Can we top up and at least be able to acquire more strips? I'm not sure if 100 is enough, because I heard when Elaine mentioned it earlier, she did mention that most of these events are attended by at least 60 people or more.
Yes, the commission does have $1,000 budget. So I believe if you want to allocate more funding, that's possible. I just have to figure out how. So let me take that question back. And then, of course, if you're at an event, I think part of the conversation is really kind of exploring whether or not folks can actually use the strip before providing it to them. So I think even if you're talking to 60 total, you're not handing out all 60. So there's going to be some that don't take it and some that, you know, it's not applicable. So I think part of the effort is learning also kind of what the distribution rate might be.
Chair Sexton, I know you mentioned that it's great to have a power source for the demonstration. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that. We do not have that at the farmers market, so we might want to take that into consideration.
Yes, I think the farmers market is a challenging location to demonstrate the use of a smart energy strip, because the booths at the farmers market doesn't have electricity in order to do a demonstration. So we might have to rethink that. But, you know, hopefully there will be some other, you know, maybe at an event that's held at the Milpitas Senior Center or at the community center or at the sports center. Might be a good location, but it again, we don't have to be looking at lots and lots of events. I mean, you know, definitely the Earth Day event, keep our fingers crossed that it's going to happen next year. And, but we can look for opportunities that the community will be there and, you know, in the mood to talk about energy efficiency. So I wouldn't go to, you know, like a football game or something like that, because it's people's minds are not in the right place at those things. But we can certainly look at those opportunities for community interaction. That would be good. Yes, Commissioner Lingle.
Yeah, hi. Let's see, on the, you know, the matching up, Chairman or Commissioner Kong, I wonder if it's, you know, if we want to, you know, certainly the venues are a great place to, like we've been talking about, you know, get the word out and all that. But, you know, do we just go with, you know, something like for these venues, just go with these smart strips, or you know, match up by, you know, having other items, LED lights, you know, things like this, to also, you know, get the word out that, yeah, the smart strips are really good, but you know, there's other means as well to reduce your, you know, your electricity.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Commissioner Lingle. I have heard that Silicon Valley Clean Energy is willing to donate some LED light bulbs to us also, so that's helpful. And certainly, I myself have a collection of different energy saving devices that we wouldn't be able to give away, but we could show and explain how these items are useful. That could encourage people to, you know, go and purchase a similar device, if that's the type of device that would be most useful to them. But yes, so it's sort of like guiding people to select the right thing.
Yeah. So something to consider, you know, again, just to try and get that word out. If we're going to, you know, do this kind of outreach, yeah, it could be other
Yes,
things.
Excellent. I'd be willing to, you know, throw in as many other devices to train you on how to talk about those items. Yes.
You know, speaking of this, though, it reminds me of a perk at the library. I don't know if you folks knew about this, but the library actually allows you to check out an energy checking kit, so that you can actually check the excuse me, the energy consumption of any device in your house, with the exception of the 220 lines, but everything else you can actually use with this kit. And in this kit, you know, it's basically you just check it out and use it for, you know, a week, or you get it for 2 weeks. It's just like a book, but it's a kit of electronics. And in the kit, there is also I think it's like 2 LED lights,
Yes, and low flow faucet aerators and low flow shower head, and insulating gaskets, and some weather stripping.
And you get to keep all that. That is not, you know, something you have to, you know, give back like a book. The
That's
energy
right.
meter is, you know, checked back in. I
Yes.
wonder if we can, you know, Elaine, I don't know if this is common knowledge. It certainly wasn't for me. I was out there looking to buy something like this, and I came across it in, you know, off the library catalog. So, you know, I don't know if folks know about this, but that too may be something we might want to have a link to, or some kind of an informational thing on, you know, on our sustainability site. I don't know. Just a thought.
That's a very good idea, Commissioner Lingle. The energy and water saving. It's a do-it-yourself energy and water saving toolkit that's available through the Santa Clara Valley Library System. So since the Milpitas Library is part of that, it's available, and the kit is actually put together and supported by Silicon Valley Clean Energy. So they're the ones who produces those kits for the library system.
It's great. It's a great.
And yes, I've checked out, used my library card at the Milpitas Library and borrowed one of those toolkits for 3 weeks. And then when I return it, I return it's a very nice little toolbox. I return the tools in the toolbox, but all of the supplies that I've used from that kit, of course, I get to keep it installed in my home. And then the library replenishes the supplies for the next person who borrows that kit.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Yes, so promoting that do-it-yourself toolkit would be a good idea.
Yes, I believe there used to be bookmarks that promoted the kit that were available at the library. And I think when I worked for Sunnyvale, we had those as well to hand out. So possibly also getting some of those bookmarks so that, during your outreach events, you can also promote that resource as well would be good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay, so Elaine, since we do have some volunteers, what's the best way to go about sort of like scheduling a training time and, covering?
I believe since this has been discussed in the public, the volunteers training and then just the logistical stuff can all happen offline and not have to be done in a formal public meeting like this. So we're good to go. One of the things we can do is provide, when you do the training, also maybe a list of what event opportunities we have coming up in the next 6 months, and the volunteers and you can decide which of that, which event you want to participate in, and then we can start the purchasing of the energy strips and then kind of identifying other resources.
Okay, that sounds great. And I think that in our January meeting, we'll start the discussion for the Earth Day event that we hope to have next year. And I think during that discussion, we can include in it the possibility of how to spend the $1,000 that the commission has. We had talked about using it in together with some sort of expense that we might incur for the Earth Day event. So whether it's additional smart power strips or other energy saving devices or some expense, then I think that January's discussion would be the place to talk about how those funds can be allocated.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, great. I'm very glad to hear that we're moving ahead with the distribution of smart energy strips for our residents. That would be wonderful. And I believe we have concluded all our business items. So at this point, let's move on to the city liaison report. So we've heard from Councilmember Chua. Any staff reports?
Sure. I think the other exciting thing that happened at council last night, they did also approve an agreement with our city forests to run a what we're calling Lawn Bus Milpitas program where our city forest will provide kind of a turnkey lawn conversion for up to 20 to 25 households. So that contract was approved. We're working with our city forest and hope to launch that early next year. As a good way to help get some more visible lawn conversions out in our community to inspire more folks to convert their lawns. And then you guys, I think we talked about it last week, but if you've driven by the senior center or community center, the solar panels are going up super fast. They are, the structures are up in the parking lots. Panels are being installed on the senior center roof. So it's super exciting that to see that go up as quickly as it is. So I think we're all super excited and can't wait for the kind of switching of the power to our solar and our backup batteries. And that's all I had.
Great.
Tony, did you have anything else?
I have nothing else to add, Elaine. Thank you for that update.
The next time I head to town center, I'll definitely go by the community center to see what the panels look like. Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any announcements to add? Okay, well, at this point, I would like to wish everyone happy holidays. I hope you stay warm and dry, and I look forward to seeing you again in January. So I would, since we have completed our agenda, I'll call for adjournment of this meeting. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your enthusiasm. And I look forward to seeing you again in the new year.
Thanks, everyone.
Later.
Happy holidays.
Holidays.
Merry
See you
Christmas.
next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.